All right, welcome back, everyone, to Ask Us at the Trap Talk Podcast. As always, email us at askus@traptalkpodcast.com. And guys, this question is coming in from Joe Vancora. And Joe says, I want to know what your corrected vision is. I get around a bunch and I ask a lot of good shooters, and almost to the man, really good shooters are a 2015 or better. I want to know if you're finding that too. Two phenomenal shooters I know are 2010. So I think Joe's asking about maybe when you have your lenses on, right, Ricky? Like what your corrected is when you have your lenses on. So he's saying that he's seeing a lot of good shooters out there and they're shooting 2015, 2010.
Everybody's different. When I get my eyes checked every 6 to 7 months. And some people go, what? And I'm like, this is what I do for a living.
Well, you're a professional shooter, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and every time I go in, I they keep telling me to, I need readers to see it.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, Doc, can you do anything with that? And he's like, no,
Yeah.
But I always get mine. I always ask them, and I can read it at 2010 with the correction, but most of it I'm going to say is 2015 to 2020. I mean, yeah, as you get older, I mean, when I was, say, Zach's age, I could still see the dimples on the target when I would, like, and I call this hyper focusing, where I really slow the target down and I could see, the dimples, and people were like, what? And it's just a weird, that's what I can see. As I've gotten older, I'm 49, about to be 50 next year. Do I see no, but I see the target clear. And that's one of those things I really, you just focus on each target. So, yeah, it's possible. But like I said, everybody's different. I've got a good friend that's a retired eye doctor. I bought my first Perazzi, when I shot it for years, 20-some years ago, actually 30 years ago, was from my original eye doctor. And, he was a AA 27 AA shooter. And Doc would always, do this, okay, then when I need the glasses, you can't have contacts, you have stigmatism, you don't want weighted. Right. So everybody's different. So
what do you have yours corrected up to, Rick? How far did you go on those RXs?
2015 basically is what I'm like, okay, yep, that looks good. And then I'll say, hey, let me see what the 2010 is. But at 2010, it's so minute that, I mean, almost.
So do we think Joe is asking that people are overcorrecting their lenses in trap shooting? Do you guys see that out there with other shooters that they're overcorrecting?
No, undercorrecting, I would say, is where people take their like regular glasses that they get, and they go, oh, I could shoot in these, or oh, my eye doctor, he said he'd make something. Well, the difference is our good friend that's been passed for a while, Mike Reinhardt, from Post 4 Optics, that was the owner and inventor of that. Mike used to tell me, he's like, Rick, I put it in, over a couple millimeters and then up a couple millimeters. Right. And I was like, and at first I go, what? And he goes, because when you're mounting the gun, you're not mounting the gun straight, straight. You're mounting the gun, you're kind of looking across. So you want that center. Now, the technology now is so different, that I think there's been talk of like, some lenses, the prescription goes throughout the whole thing. Years ago, that wasn't the case as far as I know.
Yeah, those are called the digital lenses now, right?
Yes.
They don't have to, because they're not using a true blank. They're actually manufacturing the entire lens. And I just had some of those done as Pillas inserts, but my problem, well, it didn't work, unfortunately. A little bit of burnt money there. And the reason why is because of this. Because of how I'm turned and down on the gun, all I see is the frame of those lenses. So if I was wearing something more like your guys' lenses, like those Post 4 style, that's just all lens, I think it would work for me. But I'm farsighted, so I can see far away, so I'm okay. I was just going to try it, but I had to make the digital lens because they could put that focal point across the whole lens, and it looks great when I'm just, my head is up and I'm just looking through the lenses. It's amazing. As soon as I mount the gun,
walking around the gun club, not shooting.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Joe.
I mean, I don't know if the question is directed towards me at all because I don't use prescription. I'm non-prescription but for a non-prescription shooter. When I started, my vision was 2010, and most recently it's been 2015. But it bumps between 2010 and 2015, and I will say that, I mean, it can't hurt you to have good vision in a game that involves vision, right? So I don't think
ding ding
you're going to say, oh, well, here's a lightning bolt idea. The guys with better eyes are going to shoot better. Like, I think, if you got better vision, better hand-eye coordination, then that's going to give you an advantage. Now, is it going to give you the most advantage? I would like to think of a guy who was pretty big and had Coke bottles on his eyes. His name was Leo Harrison III.
That's true.
His vision was probably not the best. I mean, his eyes were little beady eyes, and he had these big old lenses.
Let me tell you, his vision was excellent with them glasses on, son.
Oh, with the glasses on.
I'm sure it was excellent with those glasses on.
Big L be like, Rick, and I'm like, you can't see me.
Without the glasses, right? Yeah.
But I mean, you can only get so much out of a prescription. You can't press it to a point to where you're, like taking horrible vision and turning it into 2010. I mean, you can only go so much before it doesn't work. And I think the best you can see is what you've got, and you just kind of roll with it. And I mean, there's really, unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah. Here's the deal too. If he's having some vision, so go see a good eye doctor and tell them you want vision. If they don't know anything about shooting, tell them you want vision of a fighter pilot. That's what you want to see. Because fighter pilots have to have excellent vision. So I know,
at distance, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Because we're not shooting up close. You don't care what's here. You want to see out the distance. So that's what I would suggest.
Tell them you're going to go shoot down some MiGs like Top Gun.
Right. The good news is on the medical side, though, is, now when people are getting cataract surgery, they are putting corrective lenses into the eye. That is a huge advancement because before they just put a clear fixed lens, right? Now, if you go, they'll ask you, do you want to see better at distance? Do you want to see better close? Some people are getting one eye close, one eye far because your brain will use, different eyes. That sounds risky. I would be like, I want both eyes far away.
Here's a little advice, okay? Because I just met with a guy the other day who had the one close, one far, and he had his dominant eye as the close eye, and he had his wrong eye as the long eye. And I was working with this guy, and he was like, man, this is real messed up, huh? And I said, I've never seen this before because everything in his power, his right eye, and he's shooting on the right side, wanted to look close at the gun. And so he was like looking at the gun with his one eye, and his other eye was like aimed out at the target. And he's like, I see all kinds of stuff I'm not supposed to see. And I'm like, whatever doctor you used, like, I don't know if you ordered it this way, but I wouldn't recommend it. So
I would have taken a magic marker and written on my face, been like long, short, like something.
Like for sure, make sure the dominant eye is the long eye. If not, both eyes are long eyes. And if there's anything you can do to make sure that your shooting side is more dominant, do not have them correct the left eye to more than the right eye if you're shooting on the right side. Like you're asking for some trouble. You're asking for a lot of pain down those roads.
Yeah, that would be bad because I would be so worried. I would just be like, do them both for distance, please. I don't want anything close because you can put readers. You can put readers on. I mean that's
but
like,
you don't
can
even
put
want
glasses.
that left one to be stronger than the right one because now you're changing your dominancy, right? Like you don't want to change dominancy.
Yeah, right. That's very true. Well, Joe, we appreciate the question. Good question for sure. Shooters, take care of your eyes. Find an eye doctor. My eye doctor lets me bring my gun into the clinic. So when he was setting up my lenses, he's like, yeah, bring your gun in. Let's see how it works. Now, it didn't end up working for me, but find a cool doctor and get your eyes checked frequently. So, All right,
the
guys.
disclaimer: call your doctor before you bring your gun in.
Yeah, don't bring it in. Yeah, I
right.
left it in the car. I left
Call
it in the car
ahead
first, for
before
sure.
you bring the gun in, please.
Yes, always. Yeah. All right. Again, thank you, Joe. We appreciate the question. As always, send your questions to askus@traptalkpodcast.com, and we'll get these two guys to answer it for you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.